So I just saw this video on Street Speed's channel and it's insane, so I had to do my own version of it.
So I just got pulled over and I have guns drawn on me. Nope, just me. I have to hit the unlock button. I have to hit the I got it.
For a little bit of context, this is a BMW driver from PA with an aftermarket exhaust and a vape. He was backfiring and blowing his vape out of his car, and he was reported as shots fired, and this video is the result of that. I'm actually gonna make a YouTube video on this, but I got to talking to the actual owner of the BMW that this happened to, that this occurred to, and I was like, wow, this is even more insane than I expected. And the reason that I feel like I'm qualified to give my opinion on a story like this is because I myself have been pulled 24 times. 25 years old, I've been pulled 24 times. My car, 2003 Terminator Cobra, is known for being extremely loud, and it's gotten pulled over a lot to the point where people are like, just change your exhaust. And I'm not changing my exhaust. My car is known for my exhaust. Yes, I get pulled for it because it's loud, but I love my exhaust. I'm not changing it. And so I've gotten pulled for my exhaust like several times, and I've had guns pulled on me as well. And so I've been in very similar situations. But the other thing is I also have a lot of friends who are police officers. I've actually done a short film for my local police force, and so I'm friends with a ton of police officers. So I'm not a police hating type of person. I love everyone. I'm not biased. I felt like I could maybe add a little bit to this story and hopefully help move things forward in the car community. When things like this happen that I feel like I can relate to, I like to share my opinion and hopefully put some things out there that can help. So this guy, I don't know his name yet, should have asked his name, but @bang_F30 is the name on Instagram if you want to follow him. He's probably gonna get like a ton of followers because of this. So hopefully it helps you, bro, because that sucks. You could have actually gotten shot. I was really nervous watching the video, but thank God, thankfully, you're still here, you're still good, still part of the car community, and that's awesome. So this guy has a BMW 335i, and it doesn't even have a two-step. It simply has a Burble tune. And when you get a Burble tune on a newer car, if you don't know, it just burbles and crackles and pops a lot when you do a downshift. My car has Cook's long tube headers, Borla Attacks and Off-Road X, and so it burbles and backfires because it's just really loud and it's getting a lot of fuel through those 60-pound injectors. So my car backfires because of fuel and long tube headers and stuff like that. His car backfires because it has a Burble tune, and so it's gonna crackle and backfire because it was tuned to sound that way on purpose. He also vapes, and so what happened was he was driving to work, and I guess maybe he downshifted or he just let off the throttle and heard, some crackles and pops were heard by a police officer, and then the police officer saw the vape smoke coming out of the window, and maybe she just glanced and barely saw it, and she's like, holy crap, that person just fired off a rifle. But crackles and pops, if you're a car person, does not at all whatsoever sound like a rifle or a pistol or anything like that. It just sounds like crackles and pops, completely different sound. Now, if you're two-stepping, just randomly two-stepping, and you got pulled for gunshot sounds, I could understand that. But as far as I know, this guy doesn't have a two-step on his car. He just has a Burble tune, so it makes it crackle and pop a lot more than it otherwise would. And he actually even told me the Burble tune was actually turned off on his way to work. He was just kind of chilling, cruising, so probably wasn't popping a lot. I mean, it had to have at least popped a little bit. They heard something, unless it was another car. But that's what he got pulled for. But the video was insane. So he got pulled over, told him to put his hands out of the window, and they had assault rifles drawn on him. One guy even had a silencer. And I'm like, so I've been pulled and I've had guns drawn on me, but it was like Glock 40s. It was pistols. Never have I ever had an assault rifle drawn on me. I've also had a shotgun drawn on me, which was by a Southern man from Clover, South Carolina, because I was driving down a road trying to get a drone shot of my car, and we pulled over on the side of the road, and apparently that was like about a quarter mile away from someone's property off the road that had something, I don't know, had some sort of property, and the guy came out of the forest with an F-150 and a long barrel shotgun and was pointing it at me like, you better not put that drone in the air, you better get away from my property. And I was like, okay. So I've had guns drawn on me by civilians and police officers more than once, and you know, I try my best to respect everyone, whether it's someone who has private property or a police officer. So I'm not gonna hate on anyone or put anyone down. This is kind of a really bad situation, just because if he would have made a wrong move, he would have been shot and he would not be here anymore. And he also has a pregnant girlfriend who is 8 months pregnant, and that just hurts me to think about, that just by being in the car community and being passionate about cars and having a BMW 335i with a Burble tune, you could possibly be taken away from your family because of a Burble, because a police officer thought that Burble was a gunshot. So I think if we can take anything from this, it's that yes, police officers have to be at high alert because they go through a lot. I would not want to have that job. I respect police officers. I have a ton of friends that are police officers. I work with police officers. I'm a filmmaker, so I've done videos involving police officers, being on their side. I know what they go through. It's a tough job, and I have lots of respect for law enforcement. With that said, I think that if you're a new police officer going into the force and you don't know anything about performance cars, or the fact that, you know, that they backfire sometimes because of the way the fuel is flowing through the injectors and, you know, the way the car is tuned, that might be something that they should be educated on, especially in a place where there are performance cars, because you have a street speed that's inspiring everyone to get performance cars. So at the end of the day, I just think it is, number one, she was probably caught off guard and maybe barely saw it and heard it and thought that it was something that it was not, and just, you know, based on her instincts, went ahead and called it in as shots fired. But I think that is an issue of knowledge. She didn't know better, which resulted in a situation where someone could have been killed. And I think that we have to do better with these things. I think everyone makes mistakes. That's why I don't bash anyone. That's why I didn't bash the kid that did the burnout into my car. I got really frustrated and I said a lot of things, but I didn't crap talk that kid, not once. I just said, if you're going to do a burnout, don't have your tires pointed towards a car behind you that has a decent paint job. You know, that person that cares about their paint job, because my paint's chipped because of that. But I'm not bashing that kid. I'm saying we've got to do better with car meets and not hooning around. I'm not bashing this police officer. I'm saying that maybe some police officers should do better with determining if that was a backfire or a Burble or a gunshot. And typically modern day weapons don't puff out a giant puff cloud of smoke. That's muskets. I myself have a good bit of firearms. I'm an avid shooter. I don't like to even say that anymore. It sounds bad. But I do like to occasionally go to the shooting range and brush up on my skills, just in case. It's good to be good at these things, you know, just in case. Say what you want. I think it's good to be trained around weapons. I think it's good to be able to drive a manual transmission car. These are just things that I was raised on, so these are things that I believe. But yeah, guys, the moral to this is just that knowledge is power in this situation, in a good way. And ignorance on the car community and performance cars can be a bad thing. So ignorance is not always bliss. In this instance, ignorance could have gotten someone killed. And so I'm just putting it out there. I think that maybe police officers should have access to some sort of knowledge base on what cars sound like when they backfire, and so that maybe this situation doesn't happen again. And yeah, I've been pulled several times. Similar things have happened to me. I'm not saying anyone is like really at fault here. I think the police officers in this video were a bit extreme, but at the same time, they were doing their job. They responded to a call, and that's it. That's where I'm gonna end this story today. I'm like Philip DeFranco right now. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment box below. If this video gets a lot of views, tell me what you think about it. I didn't plan on doing this video, but the story was just so crazy and I related to it so much, I was like, I need to do a video on this. So here's the video. If you liked the video, click that like button. If you are new here, subscribe to the channel and click that notification bell so that you get notified whenever I put out videos. I put out my opinions all the time on things that I think need to be talked about, and I also make vlogs and talk about my Terminator Cobra. And I'm a filmmaker, so I do it in a filmic way. With that, I'll see you guys next time. Much love, my brothers and sisters.